If you love the blues, you found your new home. The Blues Hotel. Real music. Just talking blues. Real stories. And Blues Moments in Time. The history that shaped it all. 3 podcasts. 1 home. The Blues Hotel Collective. Listen wherever you get your podcasts. From the Blues Hotel Collective, welcome to Blues Moments in Time, where every groove holds a memory and every moment echoes the truth of what came before. Today, we rewind the reel, trace the footsteps, and revisit the chapters that shaped the blues. Here is our host, Kelvin Huggins.
Welcome to Blues Moments in Time, the podcast dedicated to exploring the rich history and the cultural significance of blues music. Today, we step into the past to honour the remarkable events that unfolded on the 25th of February across more than a century of blues history. Let's begin with the cultural landscape. There are some days in history that feel like they were designed to hold more than one world inside them. February 25 is one of those days. In 1964, the world woke up to discover that a 22-year-old kid from Louisville, Kentucky, just dethroned the most feared heavyweight champion on earth. Cassius Clay, soon to become Muhammad Ali, stopped Sonny Liston in the 7th round in Miami Beach, and in doing so, detonated a charge that travelled far beyond the boxing ring. For Black America, including the communities that had given birth to the blues, this was the sound of defiance made visible. Ali's refusal to be humble, to lose quietly, to accept the role others had scripted for him was the same refusal embodied in every blues lyric ever sung about hard times and the will to survive them. That night in Miami didn't just change boxing, it changed the air. Now let's turn to the political climate. 94 years earlier, on February 25, 1870, a minister named Hiram Rhodes Revels walked into the chamber of the United States Senate and took the oath of office, becoming the first African American ever to serve in that body. He represented Mississippi, the state that would, within a generation, become the birthplace of the Delta Blues. Revels was assigned the very seat that had been vacated by Jefferson Davis, president of the Confederacy. Now sit with that just for a moment. The audacity of Reconstruction, the hope of it. Within years, that hope would be crushed by Jim Crow, by violence, by the grinding machinery of segregation. And from that wreckage, from sharecropper shacks in the Mississippi Delta, from levee camps and chain gangs and dirt roads, the blues would emerge. February 25, 1870 is part of that origin story. Of course, no discussion of blues history would be complete without exploring the music. In 1927, on this very date, a piano virtuoso named James P. Johnson sat down at a studio in New York City and recorded Snowy Morning Blues and All I Have Is Gone for the OK label. Johnson was the father of stride piano, a style that fused the rhythmic drive of ragtime with the emotional depth of blues, and which served as the foundation for jazz piano as we know it. He was Fats Waller's teacher. His influence stretched into every corner of American music. Now fast forward 65 years to 1992 and the 34th Grammy Awards. Buddy Guy, at 55 years old, finally held a Grammy in his hands. Best Contemporary Blues Album for Damn Right I've Got the Blues. It had taken 3 decades of being called the greatest living blues guitarist by Hendrix, Clapton and Beck before the industry caught up with the man. That Grammy night was more than recognition, it was reckoning. This date also marks the birth of several influential blues figures. February 25, 1896, a girl named Ida Prather comes into the world. She would grow up to become Ida Cox, and Paramount Records would crown her the uncrowned Queen of the Blues. Between 1923 and 1929, she recorded more than 78 sides for Paramount. Powerful, confident, sometimes defiant songs that declared that black women had stories worth telling and voices strong enough to tell them. Her anthem, Wild Women Don't Have the Blues, was a feminist declaration decades before the word was widely used. She ran her own touring show, controlled her own career, and returned to recording in her 60s. She remained one of the foundational voices in all of American music. And on the same date in 1937 in Jackson, Mississippi, Andrew Brown was born, a Chicago blues guitarist of fluid brilliance, spent decades honing his craft in the city's clubs, only to be taken at just 48 years old, tragically under-recorded just as the world was beginning to truly hear him. And finally, we remember those who we lost on this date. On February 25, 2012, the blues world lost Iverson Minster, known to the world as Louisiana Red. His life was, in every literal sense, the blues. Born in Bessemer, Alabama in 1932, his mother died days after he was born. His father was lynched by the Ku Klux Klan when he was 5. He grew up between orphanages and relatives, carrying wounds that most people couldn't imagine, and he poured every one of them into his music. Slide guitar, harmonica, a voice full of gravel and sorrow and undefeated spirit. Louisiana Red recorded over 50 albums and won a WC Handy Award for Best Traditional Blues Male Artist. Unable to find the recognition he deserved at home, he eventually moved to Germany, where audiences understood exactly who they were listening to. He died in Hanover, aged 79, after a stroke. His life is proof that the blues is not just a musical style, it's a testimony, and his music endures. Now that's all for today's episode of Blues Moments in Time. February 25 is a date that holds senators and singers, champions and survivors, broken hearts and Grammy trophies, all bound together by the great thread of African American history and the music it gave the world. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating history of the blues.